So let me open up a page for you and let me share the page with you. In order to be a decision maker, and since some of you have already discussed that you need to know the customers, you need to know the market, and you also need to know the economy, the environment, overall environment where I live, because you are not independent of the overall macro scenario. Best example probably today is that during the COVID, doesn't matter how good your product is, you cannot sell. Happens or not? So realize that your
Yes, sir.
Right, sir.
your your sales performance uh, sometimes is not necessarily based on the product quality, which probably many of it's become hard to believe. So
Yes,
many
sometimes
people
it depends on the reality and the necessity
ex-
at the right time.
exactly. So I try to push it you in your mind that your decision making process requires a lot of thinking process. Some people always
Right.
think, some people always think I want to take a decision, I want to produce the best product. And I give this example for people to think that what is the best product? Imagine that you as a company produce a product that will last 100 years, right? And if it is lasting 100 years, fantastic product, how many people will buy it? Not a lot. Because most people will,
Consumption of the product depends upon the use of the product, like what the
yeah,
product is used for.
but even if you take about any product, let's say, okay, furniture is a good example. Will anyone buy a chair for 100 years life?
No, maximum 5 to 10 years.
Okay, so now the question is, because its design changes, product quality changes, you really do not want a product for 100 years. You would like to make sure that, think about the best. Another example is mobile set. If someone comes and tells you that I make a mobile that will never break, like Nokia 1101, something like this, did it work? No. So even if they have the best product, you may not survive in the market at the end of the day, which really means that best quality probably is not always true. On the other hand, in order to make the quality big, your price may be so high that you will lose your market. And that's why the cheaper products enters into the market. So you realize your decision making is a lot of choice making. You have to be very clever to decide that how do I make my product? I know the people who have produced the best quality product did not survive. On the other hand, there are people who have entered into the market, taken over the market, even though they do not have the best product. So I'm giving you the logic of decision making, and this is where you need to know your customer, that I need to know for whom I'm selling it, what is in his mind. And that's called micro decision making. So you have realized that micro decision making requires you to start thinking about, okay, individual consumer, how they are behaving. The second type of market decision making in micro level is that you are selling a product. And when you're selling a product, you may produce the product very good, but you cannot even enter into the market. It happens to a lot of producers. The best idea to sell a product, but it's not easy to enter into the market. So you may have a product, but the institutions, the rules and regulation is set up in such a way that you may not be able to even enter into the market. In other words, in order to enter into the market, it's not easy. Probably the most recent example is the Ganesh Shastra's kit. If you look into the kit for the COVID, is it easy to enter into the market? No, it's not. Because there are rules and regulations, and rules and regulations are sometimes prohibit you to enter into the market. Some rules may be good, some rules may not be good. You may not like it, but that's how it is. So you now realize that market itself is a matter of importance, because you have to understand that it's not the product quality, because the institutions around the market may prohibit you not to enter into the market. That is also possible. You want to produce, but there are also institutions around it. And you may find out that I cannot do it. I have the knowledge to produce something, but the institutions may not allow it. Best example probably is the nuclear technology that many countries want to acquire. but the global institutions will not allow you to do it. So global institutions creates rules and regulation for you that even if you want to produce it, you cannot do it. And these are issues of market failures, market non-performance, missing markets, things like that always bring in, and we discuss this in microeconomics. Does it matter as a decision maker? Answer is yes. I am a seller. I am a business decision maker. I am selling a product, or I want to sell a product. I need to know whether I would be able to enter into the market or not. So something that is very important for us to understand. The second important point, which what I started with, is the COVID example. That the macro scenario is important for me because even though I have the best product, I may not get the customers to buy it. People may not have money to buy it. So if people lose income, you'll find out you will not be able to sell products, even though the product is pretty good. So should I be aware of it, or should I say, okay, don't worry, this is, God will tell us? Answer is no. As a planner, as a decision maker, you should read that what is going to happen to you, because eventually it is your decision that is going to affect the whole chain of your command. You are the manager. Remember, I'm talking about managers not at the lower level. You're making a decision. You decided to invest in an economy which is not growing. And what you will find out, that the moment you invest in an economy which is not growing, you are going to collapse because you have made the investment, but you don't have demand. And that's why you find out that countries who have significantly large amount of investable fund, they do not invest in their own economy. And that's a global analysis. You have to understand that even though you have a significant amount of global fund, investable fund, that doesn't mean you are going to invest. Why? Because the economy is not growing. So you look into the economy which are growing, and then you say, I want to go to that economy because that is where I can sell my product. A better example in Bangladesh is probably Grameen. And I always look at this with an eye as a researcher to see, when did Grameen decided to enter into Bangladesh? It decided to enter into Bangladesh in 1997, in a year when Bangladesh became the champion of corruption. That was the first time Bangladesh has beaten Nigeria and became the most corrupt country in the world. That is the same year Norway was the second most honest country in the world after Sweden. So a company owned by a government, 51% ownership of the government, decided to invest in a country which has been labeled as the most corrupt country. Was it a good decision or a bad decision? You start looking at it, that how decision makers actually take decisions.
Yes, sir. They had plenty enough to make those investments, sir, because that's a very high risk involvement investment, right? You are looking at a country which is very much corrupted, so you get a very high stake of money back in that particular kind of risky markets, but they took a lot of risk.
Yeah, but you realize that how decision making is done.
Yes, sir. That's a very eye-opening topic you have said.
Yeah. At the same time, the company, like for example, Axiata existed. They did not think about it. Same time, you look about the Banglalink, which is the Banglalink Orascom, right? Orascom right. Also exists. Orascom did not take a decision. So you realize that CEO, the chief decision maker of these companies, are completely, one was thinking of, should I go to Bangladesh maybe? Could not even think about Bangladesh. Oh, where is Bangladesh? And here is the most honest country decided to enter into a country like Bangladesh, which on the same year was labeled as the most corrupt country. And that itself, and those who came later, Orascom came later, remember all these people, all other companies came later, they had no clue. By the time they come, the market has been taken over by some.
Right.
So you have to understand the decision-making process. And if you do not understand, analyze these, and if you do not have this ability of analysis, then you will never be able to become a good decision maker. So in order to become a very good decision maker, you must understand the logic of analysis and say, okay, I can see it. And we'll discuss all of them into the class. This class will come to the class. That's what I'm saying, that the class is probably not going to follow the book, but it's going to give you ability to explain and say, okay, this is exactly going to happen. So I have to rethink about it. Everyone is taking decision. Everyone has a macro and micro decision and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So in your own decision making, how do you start analyzing them? It is a very important strategy of decision making process. And to me, you need to understand that, okay, how was it done? I give you another example. Nokia was producing the best quality phone when it started with that 1100 series. It is still today one of the best quality phone. Did they ever think the company like Samsung would come and beat them?
Sir, for Grameen, is it corruption or the market, actually the telecom market, which was quite new in Bangladesh, that influenced the company, Norwegian company, to enter into this market actually?
We'll learn about it. But point I'm raising is to think about decision-making process. When Telenor came, was they the only company in the world?
No, they didn't.
So why the rest of them did? Why not? Rest of them did not think about it.
Exactly.
We realize the decision-making process requires a lot of different thinking process. That is my point. So if you are a decision maker, you need to open your eyes into different angles. And when you are looking at from a different angle, so when you look into the decision making process and when you say, okay, I am entering into a market, you have a lot of parameters. Obviously, it is not corruption only, but corruption was a parameter. Many countries, many companies, still today, many people say, oh, this is a corrupt country. I'm pretty sure many decision makers, this is a corruption, I do not go. I give you a good example. I was doing a research in Bangladesh, and I said, okay, since 80s to onward,
80s onwards, okay.
Yeah, which one is the most growing sector in Bangladesh? Garments.
Where's the RMG?
Yeah, RMG. So if you look at the garments RMG sector touches customs or not? It touches customs.
Touches.
It touches police or not?
Touches police.
Does it touch the transport industry?
Hugely.
Yes. So you start looking at all of them, and then you start looking at the corruption index of the Bangladesh, and you realize all of these sectors are probably highly corrupt. So there are sectors who do not touch anyone, they did not grow. This is a sector who has touched all the corrupt sector and has been growing. The second most growing sector was real estate in Bangladesh. 11% growth rate was there for many years. That is also dealing with all of the corrupt agencies in Bangladesh. So when you look into the economy and you say, okay, this sector is growing. On the other hand, privately, everyone said because of corruption, economy is not growing. If that is so true, then why the sectors that touches corruption sectors are growing, and there are many honest people who are not growing? Where honest businesses cannot grow. So I'm giving you.
It becomes the part of ecosystem, sir. Corruption itself became the part of that ecosystem.
I'm not saying that, but I want you to start.
I'm kidding, sir. I'm kidding.
I'm telling you to think. Why am I telling you to think? Because decision making is not a pure science.
Right, sir.
It's an art. And you have to be clever enough to say, okay, I know this, then I can see what is happening. And that is called decision making. And in order to be a good decision maker, and that is why I always tell you, give that an example that I give you on Grameen again. The amount of money Grameen made in Bangladesh, was it due to the marketing person or because of the CEO who decided to enter into Bangladesh? Who should be the owner of this?
CEO who has decided to come enter Bangladesh.
Exactly. So now you realize that the rest of the department made all this money, But if that CEO did not exist, that would have
If
never
he
happened.
didn't make the call of entering the market, nothing would have happened.
Nothing would have happened. And that is why you see around the world, the CEO's salary is almost 10 times higher than the next person. Minimum. You never pay a CEO lower money. It's a stupidity because he is the decision maker. But in order to be CEO, your ability is not a marketing ability. You have to think globally and say, okay, I can see things. Obviously, you are an expert in marketing, you become the head of marketing,
Right.
right? But
Right.
in order to run a company as a CEO, your decision-making window should be big enough to say, okay, I can see where and how should I take my decisions. And that is what we are going to come through in this course. That okay,
Right,
what
sir.
are the areas that I do not even touch, but it touches me? How do I read them? Think about, I give another example. I'm giving example that you know so that you can remember things.
Right. We can relate easily.
Yeah, think about Singer. Heard about Singer in your life or not?
Yes, sir.
So think about Singer. If you ask your mother, what do you think? Singer is a company for what?
Shalai machine, sir.
What did they produce? A bad Shilai machine, bad sewing machine?
This is the best one.
Best one.
Sir, we do not know any other brands. When we think about like sewing machine, this is the only brand that comes to our mind.
My question to you, that how come being a best producer of a product, is it selling it anymore? No,
Sir,
it's gone.
no.
So question that you should realize that Singer is a smarter company than Nokia. Singer understood that I have to move away. Even though I produce the best product, I cannot stay here. And that understanding is very important. How did they understand? Why being the best producer of a product, a lot of people spend a lot of money to say, I want the best product. They don't understand what is the best product means. So Singer is a good example that the best product producer decided to abandon a market.
Right.
And why did they do it? What was the basic reason? That should they decide after the market has fallen, or it is smarter to decide before the market has fallen?
It's smarter to decide before the market has fallen, because that can keep the goodwill.
So, everyone can decide after the market has fallen, but by this time you have burned your finger.
Exactly. And the market was already won by someone else.
Exactly. So I'm trying to give you an idea to understand decision-making process, because it is easy to take a decision after you have lost the market. You have no choice. That's what Nokia did. Nokia now decided to come back.
Following the...
Exactly. So my point is, you have to understand the fundamental logic. Do not wait until you fall. Once it has fallen, that is gone. You are out of this throne. You are no longer in the throne. So the decision-making process is not following someone. You are not going to be the leader. Decision-making process means you predict, I'm not going to survive. Before anybody knew, you decided to leave. And that is the smartest company decision-making. Right after Telenor came, Orascom came. But that is not a good decision. Means you lost the game already. So remember this, it's a decision-making challenge is not that I have already seen others are doing. Somebody has to open a sweet shop, Mishti Dukan, and you say, I want to open it. Answer is, that's not a decision-making. If you say this is a decision-making, answer is you are not decision-making, you are a follower. So decision-making is a completely different art. You have to be ahead of others and say, okay, I can see this is going to happen. What Telenor saw, Orascom did not see. AT&T did not see. Airtel did not see. They all were there. So there are many companies existed. Vodafone did not see. They're all there. But they did not see it what Telenor CEO saw. And that is called decision-making. Okay, so remember the decision-making process is completely different. You have to be smarter enough to say, and what we will discuss in this course is those processes, thinking process. There is no XYZ formula to say this is how you do. But what are the things you have to think carefully between the lines, this is going to come. And that is the ability that we want to develop. So remember the objective of the course is completely that. And I don't have a lot of time. Unfortunately, only 12 lectures. So within 12 lectures, we will try to embed this ability. Obviously, if you like it, you can develop it. The best example, read newspapers, but do not read all the newspapers. Read financial newspapers. Financial newspapers have different way of looking at things. Business decision maker should always read financial newspaper. That's their first choice because they give you information ahead of others, even in Bangladesh. If you look at Bonik Barta, if you look at Financial Express, they provide you better information than others because they are ahead of others. Because their objective is not politics, their objective is business news. Tell you what to do and what not to do. Between the lines, they will say, this is what is coming. So a lot of information that even on Bangladesh, and this is what I mentioned, once you go to the course, you might say, okay, maybe I should start reading the newspaper that gives better information to me so that I can actually design my decision and say, this is going to come. So those decision-making process should be clearly understood in this particular case. The other important point that I want to, let me go back to the Singer issue. So you realize that Singer decided studying what? To me, they studied sociology most than business. What did they study? They realized that, yes, because they started realizing that society has changed. Remember why Singer was so popular? Singer was very popular when our mothers were not working.
Right, sir. Right, sir.
Yeah, so you start thinking about sociology. You realize that this is where decision makers are very bright. So you realize that once mothers are not working, the moment you start working, economics theory would say you start looking at opportunity cost. You will say, look, if I start sewing a shirt for my husband versus I go to the office and earn, which one is higher?
Yeah, definitely the second one, no
The
doubt.
second one. That means you will never do anything like sewing. So sewing machines are out of our home the moment women started working. So realize the sociology of it. From where to where?
Absolutely, absolutely. They would
And
rather go to a shop and buy a shirt for their husband rather than
exactly.
sewing it down.
So you start thinking logically that, wait a minute, if I'm looking at the market, I should be smart enough to see things. The moment women started working, sewing machines are gone. And it has nothing to do with the quality of the machine. So remember from today that a lot of people I have seen working on quality. And they said, oh, this machine is Chinese, not very good. This machine is German, fantastic. Answer is, imagine us, Bangladesh. If I purchase German-made machine to produce our garments, will we be able to sell anything? No.
No, sir.
So we are purchasing Chinese and Indian machines to sell our garments. We became the champion of garments industry in the world, not by bringing machine from Germany, but by bringing machine from China and India. Are we going for the best quality? Answer is no. So your decision-making process must be cleverly skewed and say, okay, I have to think carefully how this decision has to be done. And economics is probably one of the brightest signs to help you on this. It's okay, I can see, I can read through between the lines how it is happening. So the example I've given for this Singer is that it was basically reading. The CEO was good enough to understand, wait a minute, woman does not have time to do sewing anymore. And moment it is not there, this product will not go. So you need to switch the product. So that's what they switched and they survived. Sony, heard about Sony?
Definitely, sir.
What was they made for? Talk to your father, he would say 2-in-1, right? That was their product.
That was their product flagship.
That was their product. And they also realized that, wait a minute, we have to switch because nobody is interested in it. So I'm giving you, iPod was another example, right or wrong?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
So it's not, I'm giving examples around you and you start thinking. So that is why I think a lot of decision makers always think, I need this. Answer is, we have to be very clever to see things. Otherwise, you will not be able to survive in a competitive market. The market is is a cut, it will cut you through and say, look, forget about it. Best example in Bangladesh, look at Square. They are selling more family goods products rather than medicine. They are into the, watch carefully. They are into the products which is decided that, okay, this is my product. Why they have decided? Again, is the social, to me, is the market has changed. People do not have time. Today,
so they're more invested in Radhuni rather than Radhuni
Exactly.
brand rather than the pharma.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So you realize how smart they are. That they understood that this is a better brand and this is expanding. Why it is expanding? Because women do not have time to make their spices, grind their spices. So grinding machine like Molinex, who produced all these grinding machines, remember all these machines they produced, lost their market. Imagine the German machines. They created all these machines for grinding, all these things. End of the day, they lost their market to whom? To Radhuni. Because Radhuni is smart enough to create a better product. So you start thinking about this product and say, wait a minute, this is how people look into it. And smart decision makers are very smart. They would say, okay, I can see things that others do not see. Right? You think about it. The more and more we are getting involved into jobs, men and women together, you will not have time to even cook. So go around the world, they have pre-cooked food now. Every food that you want, it
Frozen fruit, sir.
is pre-cooked frozen food available. It's not frozen food, it's pre-cooked, which means all you come, bring it to the market, home, and just heat it up.
Yes, 10-15 minutes.
10-15 minutes. So you realize there's another product market coming. Whether you like it or not, answer is this is coming.
Exactly.
Because
sir, you see Golden Harvest, sir. That brand roses like anything.
Exactly. So I'm giving you the logic of decision making. So when if you say I decided because somebody else is decided, you are not a decision maker. You are a follower. Decision makers always think differently. They see things differently. So you have to create that ability. And which course you create that ability? One of the courses there. Obviously, the rest of the things are not anywhere. You have to go to the newspaper and others to develop, to have a habit that I can see things. So I want you to push you. I want to push you to that thinking process and say, okay, I understand economics, but economics is a decision-making science. It's a decision-making done at two levels, micro and macro. And obviously, economics will use a tool which is called mathematics and statistics.
Okay.
You find out economists will say, I need mathematics, I need statistics to deal with it. Otherwise, I cannot handle it. Obviously, this is economics. You are here, you will not actually go to the nitty-gritty of math and stat. That is not assumed. But if somebody is a good economist, he has to go to math and statistics. Without this, and together, they create one more subject, which is called econometrics. So it's come out of statistics, which is called econometrics. So we have all these techniques inbuilt, and which will say, let me see if I can link this to.
It's a combination of these two.
Yeah, it's a combination of math and stat. Okay, so I'm giving you the tools that we use, but it's the domain of economics. You are here, so you need an output coming out from there and say, okay, how do I use this output to actually design my decisions?
Please subscribe to this channel to receive updates on new videos.